there, Swain Event family. Are you in the market to purchase a home and a bit freaked out with the market right now? As someone who has been in your spot before, I'm familiar with what's going through your brain. And as a realtor, I've mastered the ins and outs of the buying process. When you work with me, you'll benefit from my experience, and together we'll work toward making sound, smart decisions for your future. And of course, talk a little Vol Sports along the way. Just give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you soon.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 rounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. It is Friday. It is the best day of the week. It is November the 12th. It is 5 minutes past the top of the hour. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here from the Low T Center studio. It is Friday, which means Seth Stokes is joining us today. You know it's a good day when we got Stokes with us. You know it's a good day when Seth Stokes is with us. Ben Stokes, good morning, gentlemen.
What's going on, brother?
Good morning to everybody but Georgia fans. I hope you all step in dog poop this morning.
Amen.
You know you can just clean that up, right? It's not a big deal.
Okay, but it's annoying.
Oh, yes.
All right, I'll take it a step further. I hope you walk outside of your house. I hope you step in dog poop, and then I hope you get to your car and your car battery's dead.
Dang.
I hope Georgia fans have a miserable day.
Now, what's worse about stepping in dog poop is not realizing it until you walk inside and
Correct.
you travel throughout your house or you go to your car. Like that's the worst part is when it doesn't hit you until after a few minutes of coming back inside. That's the worst. That is the worst. Stokes, good morning, man. I know you don't wish evil on Georgia fans like Ben, man. I know you're a little bit nicer when it comes to Georgia fans, right?
We all know how I do when it comes to Georgia week. Now, I've been pretty quiet this week on Twitter just because the situation is what it is. But Lord have mercy, if we make this a game or if we happen to, by some miracle, win this game, I may be the most intolerable person on the face of the planet.
I'm here to see it. I will be here to see it. A lot of things.
They literally deserve no happiness. None whatsoever. None. They don't deserve any Christmas. They don't deserve any Thanksgiving. They don't deserve anything good to happen to them whatsoever. Bad vibes, negative things only. Ever. Forever. 24/7, 365.
And they're already high on life from the Braves winning the World Series.
Look, I'm going to separate the dog fans that are Braves fans. Like, you enjoy your Braves, your Braves World Series championship. I'm enjoying the Braves World Series championship. But come Saturday and with every other thing in life outside of the Braves, y'all can kiss my butt.
Hey, what if Stokes during the Tennessee football game, Georgia fans start doing the Braves chant, and then Tennessee fans start joining him?
Look, that's different. That's baseball.
During the Tennessee football game, that would be.
I don't think Georgia fans are ignorant enough to do that. Tennessee fans, they're locked in. They're ready to go. I don't think they would join in. I think that hypothetical is one that's just going to be a hypothetical that would never, ever, ever, ever happen. You might get a sprinkling of dummy Georgia fans do it, but there ain't not now one Tennessee Vol in that stadium during that game that's going to participate in that.
Nobody brings people together better than the Braves.
The Braves do bring people together now, but this is a time of hate and division.
I hope
inside Neyland Stadium.
It would be really unfortunate if the tomahawk chop busted out inside of Neyland Stadium because the national media folks would spin it as Tennessee fans being racist.
Well, of course they would. But you know what? The national media, they're on my kiss my butt list too. The heck with all of them except for maybe Barrett Sallee. He's about it.
I got a hypothetical for you. What if Tennessee was playing a team that had red, black in their colors, and we decided to wear black too?
Like, I saw that last night on Twitter, and I was like, are we really wearing black when Georgia's secondary, like not even secondary, one of their primary colors
is red,
black? Very confusing, and I'm sure it's what the players want, and they're not thinking about that, and they like the look of the all black uniform, and cool, if that's what they want to do. I'm not one to say they can't do it. If that's gonna help hype them up a little bit more, get them excited to play a little bit more, which they shouldn't need any more excitement to play in this game. But if that helps against the number one team in the nation, then so be it. Just
go for it.
Do what you got to do. Do you boo boo and go out there and ball.
Exactly, man. When I saw the announcement, I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Just go play, man. Just go play your best, and if that does it for you, then cool. Whatever. It doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't prefer it, but hey, it ain't about me. INAM. Ain't that right, Ben?
Yes.
It's not about me.
I damn.
Huh?
I nam. It's not about me.
I thought you was over there cussing, man. I was like, man, it's too early for all that.
I'm saving all my cuss words for tomorrow's football game.
So yeah, it ain't about me, man. Whatever floats the boat of the players and the recruits like, hey, whatever. So that will be a interesting sight as I watch on TV tomorrow. A bunch of black on the field, but whatever. Looking forward to what, Ben? You all right?
No comment.
Yeah, we're watching from the.
No. A bunch of black on the field.
Well,
there will be a bunch of black.
Well,
until Chase McGrath comes out there, and the Mays brothers.
Unless Peyton's planning on wearing all black.
That's been it.
I wasn't talking about that, but
why you making it a race thing, man?
Because I can.
Biggest part of the national media. Anyways,
my goodness,
Peyton's
being woke.
Peyton's gonna be in dark mode too.
Benjamin woke. Stokes, do you think Peyton realizes that Tennessee fans think that he is a curse?
I don't think Peyton cares.
And he shouldn't.
I don't think Peyton cares. He's going to say, okay, you want this donation? Yeah? Okay. Well, then I'm going to be at the game. Like, the thing is, every other day of the week, every other day of the year, Vol fans love Peyton Manning, except for the 2 to 3 games a year he comes to. Then they can't stand him. Then he's a curse, and he's a bane on the existence of Tennessee football that day. It doesn't matter. Please, it doesn't matter whether he's at the game or whether he's not at the game. His presence has zero impact on what happens on the field.
Stokes, you know how like a joke at one moment of time was like funny or cute, and over time it kept being used over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and it's like it ain't funny anymore. Kind of like when we was messing with you about Lil Jesse.
That's exactly what came to mind.
Yeah, like it was funny for like a little bit, but then Lil Jesse became a teenager and a middle schooler, and it wasn't funny anymore. Or like when this joke about me being Hollywood, it's not funny anymore. Like
why are you subtweeting Chris Lowe?
It's old because he's not the only one who uses it. It's just old. He made it up, but it's old
to you.
Well, y'all keep rolling with it if y'all want to. Like at some point, the joke runs out. There's an expiration date.
Well, I've moved on to the Steve Harvey of Knoxville, anyways. So
that's a good one.
I got another month or two out of that one, and then I'll pivot from there.
I'm like Henry Hooker. I gave myself that title.
Oh, that's good.
He did. It was in a text during a commercial a couple months ago. He said, "You know what? I'm kind of the Steve Harvey of Knoxville."
Yeah, I was trying to be the whole time. So yeah, man.
Hey, why wouldn't you be? He's everywhere, and he's making money left and right.
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of that
Steve
title.
Harvey of Knoxville.
Heck yeah, man. Got me a couple sports jackets from Mark Nelson Denim. I'm trying to be like Steve Harvey.
And they're not down to your knees, are they?
No. He don't do that anymore.
That's true. He's gotten with the times. He's not early 2000s Steve Harvey.
And my mustache is definitely not that thick. So no, there's limits.
Filler on his lip.
Yeah, there's.
You should do the mustache.
Nah, man, my hair don't grow that thick on my face anyway. So nah, I won't be doing any Steve Harvey facial hair. Nah, I'm good. But like sometimes jokes just run out. It's like okay, man, we still using the same joke. The Peyton Manning curse, it started off as just a little joke. And then some people like really believe it who are just not that smart. Peyton comes to the good game. The good games where we play against teams that are just better than us. And they beat us. Peyton just needs to come to the South Alabama game. That's what he needs to do. He needs to come to the South Alabama game. He needs to come to more games where the opponent is not as good as freaking Georgia and Alabama. But he goes to those games because when he played, those were big games, and Tennessee would beat those teams. So why would Peyton Manning want to come to Tennessee, ETSU,
Because
or
of the win.
Well, I mean, why would he want to come watch that game? Because he's a football guy, so he wants to see good games.
Randy Sanders is coaching. It's good football.
Whatever, not against Tennessee. So, like this whole Peyton Manning curse, like it's not real.
Nobody likes to eat their own better than Tennessee fans.
Man, golly, so annoying.
Now, what do we think about Peyton's comments that the Bulldogs better look out?
Peyton, shh. Shh. Shut up, Peyton.
You need to be like a child back in the day. You were to be seen and not heard.
We don't need your help, Peyton.
They must not be doing the ManningCast this upcoming Monday.
Yeah. Shh. Didn't you have to wear Eli jersey on the ManningCast already?
Mm-hmm.
We don't need you giving Georgia any bulletin board material, Peyton. Come on now.
Have they done the ManningCast since Marshawn got on there and dropped an F-bomb?
Yes.
They've done it one other time.
They did it last week. Did they do it for the Steelers-Bears game? I didn't.
No, they should have.
They did not.
Mm-mm.
Well, see, I don't want to watch the ManningCast when my team is playing because it's you don't actually watch the game. You're more so watching the Manning brothers.
You don't want to hear Manning talk about how Ben Roethlisberger needed to retire like them?
Oh, I'd love to hear Peyton and Eli talk about how the Steelers got to win over the Bears, but I'm just saying they distract from actually watching the game.
I would like to hear their commentary on how that ref cheated.
I thought it was a great call, personally.
Of course you did.
I mean, when you go and you walk towards the opposing bench and you stare at them for multiple seconds and you kind of do a little backwards swaggy walk to your sideline, that's taunting.
No, that's not why he threw that flag.
Yep, taunting. A great call.
The ref backed up into the player like he was at the club.
Look.
He tried to back that thing up and then initiated contact and then threw the flag.
I know one thing.
I better not see that ref in the streets.
Right?
I better not see that ref in the streets. That's all I know.
Like, I'm not a Bears
hands.
fan. I'm not a Steelers fan. But that was some BS.
Yeah, whatever. You can say something about my Steelers all you want. At least my Steelers didn't lose to the 1-7 Miami Dolphins. The Ravens lost to the Dolphins last night. At least my team hasn't done that. Now, I'll reassess that particular comment come Monday after the Steelers get done playing the Lions. As a matter of fact, if the Steelers find a way to lose to the Lions on Sunday, I promise you I will not show up on Monday. Brad Matthews will be in studio while you're at Beatty on Monday if the Steelers were to find a way to lose to the Lions. I will not show up on
Would you
Monday.
be afraid of Triple O?
No, not Triple O. I'm afraid of everybody if the Steelers lose to the Lions.
The Bills lost to the Jaguars last week. It happens.
Yep.
And Bills, they were a legit Super Bowl contending team. Didn't the Titans lose to the Jets?
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is it'll be okay if the Steelers lose to the Lions?
No, it's a different level of suck. It's a different level. Different level, man. Different level. No.
Falcons are getting hot, Stokes.
Nah.
Don't
A little bit here and there.
Don't hype Stokes up. Don't pump his head up.
They're not getting hot.
They've been playing well. Cordell Patterson is the best story in the league this year.
Look, CP's great. CP's always going to be great. CP Flash. He's always going to be great. But, yeah, the Falcons, they got to show me a lot more. And I don't – as bad as the season started, I know the season's still fairly young, and they can – they're still in the playoff hunt somehow, some way. But, yeah, I'm not looking for good things out of this team this season. I'm looking for draft picks. Like I'm okay with being patient in the NFL.
Yeah, you almost have to be. I guess they're playing better than I thought that they would this year. I know they're only 4-4, which isn't something to truly brag about, but I just didn't really expect a ton from them this year. But they've been playing well the last couple of weeks. CP's been really fun to watch. He's been balling.
CP's always gonna be fun.
Yes. But this year he's legitimately one of the best players in football.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how they play against the Cowboys this week. Cowboys, talking about embarrassing losses, they looked awful against the Broncos last weekend. Awful. So boys, What do y'all think of all the cash that's going into the facility coming up? $130 million.
130?
Isn't that what it was? Stadium, or not stadium renovations, but facility upgrades. Gonna have a full-length basketball court. Will that even make it a year? I say no.
Did we just do this 8 years ago?
That's time, man.
But we need all the new bells and whistles.
It is.
It's time you got to do it.
It's time.
$30 million.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, 130. Boy.
My bad.
We're gonna build a whole new city.
Right.
No,
it's definitely time though. You gotta keep up with the Joneses. You were ahead in the arms race for a minute, and then everybody caught up and passed you. Now you got to get back ahead.
Two things that Tennessee is accomplishing here. Number one is that you are competing with the competition. Mm-hmm. You always have to compete with the competition. So you're doing that. Number two is you want players in the complex as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want. You want guys around each other as much as possible. If you don't have anything to do outside watching film and practicing and working out, then guys are going to go home. But if you have the players' lounge where you just kick it, and that's where we built some of our best relationships. And we didn't even have a players' lounge. We just had a locker room with a couch in it and a TV. They just put two couches and a TV in it. They put it in right before we played Cal. And I remember black leather seats, black leather couches. They installed the TVs. And we were like, we doing it, baby. Moving on up to the east side. We upgrade. This is what Beyonce was talking about. We getting upgraded, baby. And I remember watching ESPN, watching Marshawn Lynch on ESPN be interviewed. That was like the first week we got those TVs. But we chilled so much in the locker room and didn't even have enough room for anybody to sit down because it was just two couches. But like we spent most of our time in the locker room after the games, and we had like stools. Golly, it was these dudes even deserve all this good stuff? I need to win some more games, man. We had stools, and we would sit there and just chop it up and wouldn't leave until 30 minutes, 60 minutes after the practice. That's what you want to create if you're Tennessee. Hey, man, let's go bowling. Let's go shoot some hoops. Yeah, I don't know how long that basketball stuff is gonna last though. One injury is gonna be over.
What? Just wait till that first sprained ankle or torn ACL, and that basketball court is donezo.
Yeah.
But yes, 145,000 square foot expansion.
There you go.
We're expanding it to that amount on a $30 million upgrade. My apologies for the bad info. The tweet said renovated state-of-the-art locker room, a full-body recovery lab,
yes,
expanded weight room and nutrition center, expansive players lounge, an arcade plus a bowling alley,
yes,
an outdoor team pavilion,
yes, I like it, I love it,
and a full-length basketball court that won't last very long.
Nah, it won't last that long.
I had two initial thoughts. The full-length basketball court won't last long. That was one.
Yeah.
The second one was that Tony Vitello immediately ran to Danny White's office and had a fun conversation with Danny White. And then a side thought on that second thought is that when construction does begin, expansion on the facility, is that Tony Vitello is gonna go and strip off all his clothes and protest at the construction site and refuse to move until somebody A-OK's a brand new Lindsey Nelson Stadium renovation.
Hey, man. He needs to get his, but
I know. I'm mostly
see what
joking.
happened was
we
I
know
just think it's funny.
we know what the bread and butter sport is.
No, I get it, and I'm mostly joking. I just think it's.
Are you joking or are you not joking?
I am joking.
Okay,
but I do think it is a very funny coincidence.
I mean,
the
all of it needs it. I mean, both
Yes.
sports need
yes,
the
absolutely.
upgrade.
I am mostly joking. I'm just saying I think it's a very funny coincidence.
Yeah.
After the talk back in the spring, after the baseball season, and then bam, $30 million poured into the football program.
Well, this is not something that just because it's announced in the last 24 hours. This is not something that was decided on in the last 6 months.
Absolutely.
This is something that has been talked about with previous head coaches.
Yes.
Plural.
Mm-hmm.
Like plural. From Dooley to Butch to Pruitt and now Danny White and Josh Heupel. A players' lounge was something that was needed for years, even before Tony Vitello was here. Tennessee is behind the 8 ball when it comes to having a players' lounge. When we first built the Anderson Training Center, Tennessee was out in front, but other teams have caught up and passed Tennessee in terms of facilities. A players' lounge is desperately needed.
Yes.
Desperately needed. So when I saw the announcement, I did think of Tony Vitello. I did not think about him in that way that you're thinking about him, Ben. That's a little weird. I don't want to see him protesting. But I did think about the baseball. I was like, man, I hope they get theirs. I really hope they get theirs. I do know there's some logistical hurdles of what you can do and what you can't do because of that space. But I expect them to get theirs. The crazy thing about this whole renovation project that's going to take place next year is, man, Tennessee may be playing a spring game away from Knoxville. That's the weird thing. And when I think of the spring game, I think of like all the fans coming to Knoxville and Knoxville being the place, but we may cram ourselves in Nashville. We may be in Nashville or may be off-site somewhere else out of town because the renovations need to be done, and you can't have folks up in the stadium and things like that when you're trying to knock seats out, knock parts of the stadium down and to make it better. So that's what stood out to me, guys. We got to take a break, though.
We do need to take a break.
We got to take a break. We're going to do that. We're going to come back. Tennessee, Georgia tomorrow. CBS. A little CBS game. Let's go. Oh, yeah, my bad about last week, guys.
Yeah, we ready for another 5-hour football game?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm ready for some football. Sorry about it last night. I didn't have a problem with the broadcast team. I didn't watch the broadcast to really hear it last week, but I saw a lot of the comments from
they were bad.
Yeah, my bad, guys. I thought they were good. I enjoyed them. Previous games. I thought but I heard they didn't do a great job at all.
They had a rough go. Not the best way.
865-255-03. Hour number 1 is brought to you by Healer Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Be right back.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, T. Kell, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. T. Kell and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suit your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it. When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Seth Stokes, Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Ben sounding good. Stokes sounding good on a beautiful Friday. Man, the leaves just was falling like crazy yesterday here in Knoxville, man. It's a beautiful sight.
I know you need to
it's fall.
Get your maid out in the yard, clean up the leaves for you. You got a lot out there. I noticed that when I was walking in.
Nah, man. It rained, so I got to wait till the leaves dry before I mess with them leaves. I am not trying to blow some wet leaves. I'm gonna let them dry up. But I can't wait to be out there. My daughters, they were like, we want to make a leaf pile. We want to dive in the leaves. I was like, you need to wait till some more fall down. But I can't wait to be out there with the backpack blower, blowing leaves. Can't wait to do it, man.
Backpack blower is so much fun.
I know it, man. I'm gonna be out in the backyard like what's that? Hank Hill? Ain't that his name?
Dang it, Bobby.
Yeah, that's gonna be me, man. I can't wait to be in the backyard blowing leaves like Hank Hill.
I didn't watch that show.
Oh my goodness, you're missing out, Ben.
What's the name of it?
King of the Hill.
Yeah, King of the Hill. That
is hysterical.
I'm sure not my cup of tea.
I understand what you're saying.
It's very similar to South Park, right?
No.
It's like crude
South Park
type of
is
funny, right?
over the top, irreverent towards everybody. King of the
that's
Hill
fair.
is more of a commentary on it. It takes, I guess, just the best way to put this, I guess, is Southern Caucasianness and amplifies it a little bit, and without the racism, and
that's good.
It's hysterical, honestly. It's
crude,
about a
isn't
man
it?
and his family and his dog, and he cares about his lawn and propane accessories.
Yeah, that's me, man. That's me. That's gonna be me when the leaves dry. I'll be out there on my backpack blower, man, blowing them in a nice pile, and then the girls can drive in them with their little motorized trucks or dive in them all they want to, and then I'm gonna come over the top with it with a lawnmower and shred them all up, man.
There you go.
That's the best part of this year, but man, it was a beautiful sight in East Tennessee, man. Over the last couple of days, the leaves are just changing colors and falling, man. It's beautiful, man. It is beautiful. It's why people love the Smoky Mountains, man. Just absolutely stunning. Stunning. Reminds me so much of Huntsville, man. Sitting right there in the valley with the mountains all around. That's why I love Knoxville. Reminds me so much of home in Huntsville. Of our home, Ben.
No, your home, not mine.
865-255-03. Irish Networks hotline. Jeffrey Moore says, Swain, you going to get a side job selling propane? I need to hook up, man. Propane is high.
Everything high right now.
Man, you ain't never lied. So,
my goodness.
So I would, that's what I explained how I smoked a brisket, and I gave it away to one of our family friends that had their second baby, and we just wanted to give them something to eat, not have to worry about food. So I smoked the brisket for them, and nice. I was up in Samuel's, and I looked at the price of the brisket. I was like, for what? Why is this whole brisket $71, and the flat itself is $68? What sense does that make? The flat's smaller than the whole brisket. But I was like, man, let me just go ahead and get it, keep my mouth closed, and do it for the right reasons. Now, the brisket I smoked for Rodney in Austell, Rodney paid for it, so it was all good. He paid for his own brisket.
That's different.
Yeah, he paid for his own brisket. But, man, food costs going up. Thanksgiving's going to be another level. You're going to need some ramen noodles.
Pass the gravy. Did you put in on this?
Exactly, man. You start putting your name on things like college days where you had roommates. Right. Golly.
Got to have that Friendsgiving so everybody chips in.
BYOF. Bring your own food.
Nah, I can't do that. Because somebody's going to bring that potato salad with the raisins in it. Have you seen that video where the mom is like cussing out the daughter because she tried something new for Thanksgiving and messed up the recipe? She's like, you don't try new recipes on Thanksgiving. You practice on your own time. You don't be experimenting on Thanksgiving. You practice on your own time. And she was mad. Dude, she was mad. This is Thanksgiving. You do tried and true recipes on Thanksgiving. You don't experiment. No. There will not be any bring your own food. I got it. Make
you don't want any raisins in your mac and cheese, man?
I got it. I make sure it's all right. I will stay up all night, get up early in the morning. I'm not letting anybody mess up Thanksgiving. Experimenting from Pinterest. All right. Thanks, Ken, for the political commentary on the text box. I don't care. I don't care about anybody's political thoughts and opinions. I don't care. Your side sucks, and the other side sucks too. I don't want to hear. Don't care.
The whole thing sucks. All of it.
Let's see here. Look at the text box. Oh, QC Rodney says, battle at Bristol Spring Game Edition. Man. That's going to be, that could be cool. A spring game away from home. Stokes, that could be cool.
It could be. That could be interesting. I don't know about a battle at Bristol because of everything that has to go into that. And we know what the attendance numbers look like at a spring game. So I don't know if that's realistic, but an off-site spring game could be interesting. A neutral site spring game, if you will. Going over to Nissan Stadium in Nashville would not be a bad idea, honestly.
That's awesome.
It's just right down the street from Knoxville, and it'll be different, something different, and for a good reason, because things will be changing for the better inside Neyland Stadium. Because you can't have construction and people together. That just doesn't mix. So yeah, I'd be cool with that. Different environment, different city. Do something a little different. So yeah, that'd be interesting. I wonder, just Ben, it might be an interesting article for you. Programs throughout the country that have ever had off-site spring games away from their home stadium, and maybe an interview or two with some ADs that have been part of that and see how that went.
Yeah, Ben. Yeah, that's a
there you
good
go.
idea.
Assignment.
There you go, Ben. I mean, I think it's cool because, number one, you are playing in an NFL stadium. Like, I remember being in the Cowboy Stadium practicing during the Cotton Bowl. We played in the Tampa Bay Stadium there in the Outback Bowl. I think that's just really cool for our players to experience an NFL stadium. And then you come back with some perspective like, our stadium is nice and our facilities are super nice. And, man, we are actually living like professionals. Like, we have the same type of stuff that professionals have. And you come back and you gain that perspective when you experience something like that. And I think it's cool for the fans that travel from, Memphis and the west side of Tennessee. They don't have to make that far of a drive. So I think that would be really, really cool, man, to do it in Nashville. Now, the traffic stinks, but other than that, man, I think that'll be awesome on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would be, if that happens, that would be awesome.
865-255-03. I know,
Also,
Ken.
Jordan.
It's all good, man. It's all good, Ken. All right. Tim C says, play it at Vandy. They don't need it, and we'll fill it up. Man, that would be hilarious. Have a spring game in Chattanooga at Finley Stadium. It holds 22,000. It'll be full.
I'm
You mad Chattanooga?
Traffic. I'm not dealing with it.
Ben hate Chattanooga, man.
It ain't want nothing to do with Chattanooga.
I'm good. Y'all can have it. I'll watch online.
UT is part of the UT system. UTC.
I love Chattanooga. I love UTC. Go Mocs. But driving through Chattanooga has become absolutely miserable. It is absurd how terrible it is to drive through Chattanooga. I'm good.
I gotta do it here in a couple days.
Good luck. Have fun. Don't go during the day.
I'll be hitting it right around noon here in a couple days.
That's not that bad. The problem is you go during the day and you deal with regular traffic. If you go at night, they shut down a lane somewhere and do construction. So either way, you're going to lose.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years.
I know, man.
But you used to be able to time it perfectly to where you could get through Chattanooga without any issues. But now it just doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's miserable all the time.
You hurting Tramel's feelings. You know Tramel's in Chattanooga. He's triggered right now.
Tramel's part of the problem because it's people who drive without their headlights on that have resulted in all this construction.
I agree.
Because they need to make it easier on people to drive around in those parts because they don't know how to drive around in the first place. They don't even turn on the headlights.
Tramel listening to this right now saying, "What y'all just talk about jokes running their course a minute ago?"
That one may not ever run its course.
Well, that joke hasn't expired. It just happened, a few weeks ago. Let's get to Dave in Ackworth. Dave, good morning. Hey, Dave. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, I guess I'm going to have to drop a little bit of knowledge on y'all this morning, but we have actually played a spring game in Chattanooga.
When was that?
1994.
1994.
And it was for the same reasons that you're talking about. They were doing renovations on the stadium and had to move the game. So
nice.
I thought, and it was at UTC Stadium, I thought it was going to be the hottest ticket on the planet. I think I bought like 8 tickets. I actually bought tickets because they were selling them because of the limited seating. And they weren't very much, but yeah, I got down there and nobody showed up. I was kind of a little disappointed. I was kind of surprised too. But yeah, so that has happened before.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for that note. That's good right there.
Hey, I'm going to talk about one thing about the game Saturday that nobody's talked about, which I think is hilarious.
Please.
But I'm going to talk about Alontae Taylor's play of the game. And it wasn't the pick six. It was the play before that. So if you all recall, Kentucky had scored on a run right before that, where we had 3 guys on the left side of the line of scrimmage off sides. I don't know if y'all remember that, but we had a problem with guys lining up off sides in that series. So we start the next series, and it was 1st and 10, and we had a guy lined up off sides again, and Alontae Taylor starts losing his mind, yelling at the guy to get on sides. If you watch it, it's hilarious because all of a sudden he's waving his arms and yelling, and finally the guy moves back, and we stop him for a 1 yard loss. And Alontae Taylor has a pick 6 on the next play.
Oh man, I didn't even notice that, man.
Yeah, he's right about that.
Yep. I
remember that.
I noticed that in real time, and somebody commented that on the text box yesterday because somebody else asked about lining up on sides against Kentucky, and somebody mentioned that on the text box, and I meant to bring it back up. He had to like stomp at whichever defensive lineman it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but had to I think it was Tyler Barron. He had to stomp and yell at the same time to tell Tyler Barron to line up on sides because he was completely off sides.
Was that before the pick 6? You say?
Yes.
It was the play before, and here's the thing: if that had been off sides, it'd have been 1st and 5. Probably not throwing that pass on the next play.
Yep.
So I think my son and I, when it happened, we both just died laughing because all we could think, we were both saying, "Can you imagine what he was yelling?" Because he's acting like a petulant child over there, stomping and yelling. It's so funny if you go back and look at it. And then literally the very next play he does the pick 6. It's unbelievable. And I didn't know people talked about it yesterday. I haven't heard anybody talk about it. I said, I think that's the play of the game. I mean, because that changes the whole aspect of that play, and that pick 6 doesn't happen if it wasn't for that. So I thought it was pretty interesting. Guys, have a great one. Enjoy it.
Man, thank you for – I see him. I got impeccable timing. I must admit.
Yeah, you're only a week late in seeing it.
Impeccable timing. I click right on YouTube TV, and boom.
It was Barron, right?
I'm watching it.
Or is it Tremblay?
Oh, I went right to the play. It's right before the play.
So you don't have impeccable timing.
I do, man. It's too good. It's Tremblay. Yep. Damn, Tremblay. It's Tremblay. No, it's Tyler Barron. Not bad.
Tremblay. I was gonna say that does not look like Caleb Tremblay to me.
They're both light skinned. Tremblay got the LA. He got the LA tan. It trimmed me up a little bit. No, that was Tyler Barron. It was Tyler Barron. He wasn't that bad.
It was just a funny moment.
Yeah,
and cool recognition from Alontae.
Yeah, I mean, it was 1st and 10 when it happened. But it would have, made it 1st and 5. Mm-hmm. But I blame on Jay Wade's internet speed. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Irish Networks hotline. The thing that concerns me about this football game, guys, is the health of the running backs.
Yeah.
To pull off an upset like Tennessee wants to pull off against a team like Georgia, like this is not like one wide receiver hurt or one lineman hurt. To have your top 2 running backs questionable.
I don't think the best one is questionable.
Your best 2 running backs did not finish the game a week ago. That is concerning.
Yes.
To not be able to finish. And it wasn't like you had a comfortable lead and these players were unable to finish. You were fighting, clawing, scratching in the fourth quarter against a team that you had to beat. It was a must-win for Tennessee. And we had Jalen Wright in there. And listen, he did a good job of running through I-40 because the hose is wide open. Kudos to the offensive line. And he did a good job of running through the wide open hose. He's been battling turf toe. So he's been fighting, struggling. I hate that for a freshman because, man, that's a huge challenge of how, being able to play through injury. Because you're really your first time. We got to battle that much through injury versus guys who are just as good as you. And it's really frustrating. But no Tyon Evans, no Jabari Small at the end of that Kentucky game. And we we had that situation against South Carolina. You were playing against those Ole Miss, and you're playing against Ole Miss with Antonio Pierce at running back, the walk-on. It's not the running that concerns me. It's the pass protection. Mm-hmm. When you play young running backs, it's the pass protection that scares the daylights out of me.
And Jalen struggled with it against Kentucky when he was in there.
Exactly. So they got to go, man. Tyon got to go. Jabari got to go. And Jabari has been dealing with that shoulder all season long. Tyon with the ankle.
This is a game where you kind of you don't want to overlook an opponent. And I'm talking about South Alabama next week, but if there's a game where you can play hurt and not ruin a career doing it, and you're trying to make a statement and keep this thing close in the fourth quarter to see what happens, you play. If you're Tyon, you play. If you're Jabari, you play, because you can take next week off and we can roll with Jalen Wright and be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Yes, South out the next 2 weeks.
The next 2 weeks off, because you got Vanderbilt after that. And honestly, this could be the last game of the season before the bowl game for those two running backs, and Tennessee will be okay.
Start Marcus Pierce against Vanderbilt. Let him go for 100.
Stat game.
At this point, I don't expect Tyon to play. I think it would be a minor miracle if he plays at this point. I just don't think that he has had a good week from a health standpoint. So I would not get my hopes up about him playing. Jabari, I think it's been the same as it has been all season. He's good to go until he catches a stinger in the game.
Yeah, it's about pain management. And at this point, I'm sure it can't get any worse. And at this point, it's like, all right, let's manage the pain, and then we'll just fix it in the offseason. So I expect Jabari Small will be walking around with the shoulder cast on here after the season is over.
I imagine he will not go through spring practice.
Yeah, he don't care where the game has been played because he won't be practicing.
No.
So it's about just getting through the season, and this is part of being a football player. It's about pain management, and he has to live in the training room, and you never know. Those hours in the training room could be the difference between him finishing the game or having to come out in the third quarter. I mean, you gotta manage it and do the best job you can, and it just plays as much as you can, and the next guy gotta be ready to go. But that's what's concerning to me heading into this game. I mean, the matchups already favor Georgia in a lot of areas, not all areas, but in a lot of areas. But that not only just concerns me, it kind of scares me, because Hendon is he's the key. He's the key to this offensive engine, but he can't get going if he don't have protection from your running back. Mm-hmm. So how does Heupel use tight ends, or how does he plan for third-string running back who's had some pass blocking concerns? How does he handle that and still make sure that Hendon is able to throw from the pocket and try to get big plays down the football field? That's going to be what I'm looking at. But let's just hope that Jabari Small is able to get some of that deer antler spray.
Well, and also not to mention the pass blocking aspect of it, but if there's no true threat of a run, if they can't get going on the ground, that's going to hurt the passing attack, as we all know. When you become one-dimensional on offense, it's real hard to move the ball.
Jacob Warren didn't finish the game either last game,
Nope.
did he not?
Nope.
So, I mean, you wonder about guys that didn't finish not even 7 days ago.
Yeah, Tyon is the one right now that I just don't see it happening. He's the main one right now. I think the others, like you said a moment ago, are questionable, and we'll see how they react to practice today. We'll see how they warm up before the game tomorrow, and we'll go from there.
This is the part of the season. I mean, everyone has players banged up on both sides. Georgia, Tennessee. It's just that this is where depth or the lack of depth will get you in trouble if you don't have it. Yep. You have guys beat up at this point of the season. This makes it tough, makes it hard. Pizza Mon won. says, where is D? Where is D at? I don't know.
Not ready to play running back. He's been traveling. He traveled to Kentucky. Been on kickoff team.
Status on Warren Burrell. I do not know that status. I didn't think that his plan was in danger. His availability was in danger.
I don't believe it is.
Lenif Whitehead.
I think Lenif will be good to go.
Yeah, he'll be in the rotation.
If Tyon and Jabari can't go, then it's going to come down to Jalen Wright, Marcus Pierce, and Lenif Whitehead.
Riley Vall says, huge. Ben, are you feeling dark mode?
Sure. What do you think about wearing black against Georgia, Stokes?
Well, as we talked about earlier in the hour, I think it's pretty odd to choose to wear black against a team who one of their primary colors is black. But if that's what the players want to do, if that's going to help them get up and play this game, cool, do it. Personally, I think I would have, if we were going to break them out again this season, probably would have saved it for the bowl game. But whatever, it's fine. The uniform choice will never be something I have a very strong opinion on, just because that it does not affect me directly. The only people that it really should matter to are the people that are wearing the uniform that day. So if they want to wear black, if they want to go out there and represent Tennessee wearing all black uniform, go do it and go ball out in it. Just play well. Don't wear it and play poorly. Even if you lose, play well.
Yeah, it was cool to see the reaction on Tennessee Football Twitter. Posted it, and the reactions from that post and the comments below it, man, were overly positive, and that was just good to see.
They're sweet jerseys. Yeah. They're really nice.
Oh, I think they look great, no doubt about it. I think they look awesome. It's just I don't know. When I was in my 20s, sure, I got oh man, they're wearing that. Cool. At 37, just cool. Are the players happy? Yes. Awesome. That's all I need to know.
Yep.
I don't care what they're wearing.
Stokes, let me run through some of these bowl projections with you, man, and get your take on them as we are up against the top of the hour. 247 Sports projected Tennessee to play in the Duke's Mayo Bowl against Syracuse. ESPN's Mark Slabaugh projected Tennessee to play in the Mayo Bowl as well versus North Carolina. ESPN Cal, oh my goodness, Bonagura, I say that right? Sorry, dude. Against Miami in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Ben's over there like, who is that? CBS Sports says Texas Bowl versus Texas. College Football News says Music City Bowl versus Minnesota. The Athletic says Clemson in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, as they continue to talk about how bad the fan base is. Athlon Sports, Duke's Mayo Bowl against North Carolina State. Sporting News, Tax Slayer Gator Bowl versus Wake Forest. We can wear it against black dark mode against Wake Forest. They got black too. Action Network, Brett McMurphy says the Mayo Bowl versus North Carolina. Yahoo Sports, Liberty Bowl versus Baylor. USA Today, Music City Bowl versus Wisconsin. Which one stood out to you there, Stokes, if any?
From a matchup standpoint, just because of where I live, I would love to see Tennessee play Clemson and beat Clemson. That would be fantastic.
The Athletic from a Tax Slayer Bowl.
Yeah, the Tax Slayer Bowl. From how easy would it be for me to go to that bowl game? Any of those Duke's Mayo Bowls, they're played in Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And honestly, all of those matchups are pretty intriguing that they mentioned. North Carolina, NC State, they mentioned Wake at one point in one of those.
Surprising.
All of that would be pretty interesting matchups for Tennessee, I think. And so, one cool thing about bowl games is you get to play teams that you don't normally play, and interact with fan bases you don't normally have anything to do with throughout the rest of the season. So yeah, any of those Duke Mayo Bowl matchups I think were pretty interesting. And then the one against Clemson. I don't, Music City Bowl we've been to a lot. I don't really care about Minnesota. Like I don't. They're not that good this year. I don't think that would be much of a challenge for Tennessee. I want to see Tennessee not necessarily lose and be pushed around, but I want to see an interesting game. And that game doesn't really intrigue me. The Texas Bowl against Texas in Texas would also be interesting, because then you have the battle of the UTs and that was fun during baseball season. So I think that would be a lot of fun during football season as well.
I don't know if I care about a good game. I kind of had a good time against Mizzou. That game was fun.
Give me a dub.
And then the South Carolina game that's pretty fun to watch too in person. That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I'm
with you. Like, it's fun while Tennessee's scoring a bunch of points, but then when Tennessee takes the foot off the gas and you're just kind of sitting there in the stadium, you're like, okay, we're not really doing anything anymore because we've got a big comfortable lead and the game is slowed down. That's what I don't like about those games, where it's cool that you get the win. I'm not complaining about the win. I don't want people to misunderstand that, but I do like I like competitive games.
I feel you there, Stokes. Well, we're going to get one here in a couple hours. Tennessee hosting number 1 Georgia. Huge opportunity for these players. And looking forward to seeing what this offense is going to do against the number 1 defense in the country. Stokes, man, you sounded great today. Good to have you on. And the hour flies by when you're having fun.
It really does, man. It really does. And Saturday, I want Tennessee. I don't expect a win, just because of the way that matchup looks on paper. I'm not expecting a win. Hoping for, praying for, would absolutely love to see that. But the cards are kind of stacked against the Vols in this one. But I want Tennessee to go out and make Georgia feel real uncomfortable for the majority of that game. I want them to put pressure on them. I want to see Tennessee score more points against the Bulldogs than anybody else has. And Georgia's due for a game like they do every year, where they pee down their leg. And hopefully it's Saturday. And I hope y'all have a great time in Knoxville Saturday. I think the environment should be electric. Ben, enjoy covering it. Swain, enjoy watching it from the house. And y'all be safe out there.
What's your drink of the week? We almost got you out here before asking. I'm sure you've got a special one this week.
Yeah, this week I'm probably, it's getting colder outside, so I think I'm either going to continue the porter trend, or I'm gonna go and just switch to liquor this weekend and go full bourbon.
Yes, go liquor. You can get back on the bourbon. It tastes a little sweeter after beating Kentucky too.
That's true. That is very true.
You want to go to the phones before we get Stokes out of here?
It's up to Stokes. Stokes, you got to run, or you got 2 more minutes?
I got a couple more minutes. Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get to
Christian, right?
Yes, from Johnson City.
Christian from Johnson City. Christian, good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Man, great. How are you?
Doing well. Out here running some packages for the post office this morning. I just had a couple questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Last week, going into the Kentucky game, you said that Heupel and Banks probably had a conversation where 31-point margin or point mark would be kind of the threshold. I was wondering where you would put that for the offense versus defense this week. And I know we're supposed to act like we've been here before, but Vol fans have been waiting a while for a big win. Do you think you see us storm the field after we take down Georgia this week? Because I think it's time for the Bulldogs to go down. Y'all have a good day, and I'll listen.
Hey, thank you, Christian, man. Be careful out there. And you are doing the Lord's work right now, man, as we approach the holidays. Thank you so much for your hard work. If Tennessee beats Georgia, I do see the students saying, listen, man, we have struggled way too long. We haven't seen any type of winning at all during our time here. Even with the added security, I think there will be some students that try. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit. Now, for me, I won't have that feeling of doing that just because, I mean, we're Tennessee. Even though we're struggling, like we're Tennessee, I'm not storming the field beating any other team, to be honest. Now, I do know it happened in 98 against Florida, but this ain't 98. I wouldn't do it, but I'm different, and I'm weird too. But, like, the students, I would be 100% okay, and I would understand if they wanted to do that, and if they did do it. Just make sure no one gets hurt and try to keep it as clean as possible. What was Christian's other question?
The point margin.
The point margin.
Or point threshold, I should say.
Man, so it's so hard to point out a point threshold against this defense because they've only
not given up more than 13 points.
Yeah, 13. And I did see what Aaron Murray felt like Tennessee's going to score more than the 13, but the way the defense played last game, I mean, how can I be confident that Tennessee is not going to give up 30 to 40 points against Georgia? I mean, the defense play last week just threw a monkey wrench in my assessment of this football game, because if you play like you played against Kentucky, against Georgia, they're going to make you pay. They're going to make you pay big time. And it can
One
get real
positive
ugly.
this week, though, is neither JT Daniel or Stetson Bennett is going to take off and run a bunch. Like, they're not mobile quarterbacks. Not like we've seen.
Yeah, but Will Levis, I mean, his longest run was 17 yards. I mean, he picked up tough yards. It wasn't like explosive plays like Matt Corral. But he was finishing runs and falling forward and running us over.
Oh, he was physical.
Yeah. But I understand. Stetson Bennett still can do that, though.
Discredit him. He was definitely physical.
Yeah, running quarterback is always, or a mobile quarterback is always, a challenge because we're not great at linebacker, and we're doing what we can. So, yeah, I mean, Stetson Bennett, I can see him having his best rushing day of the season in this football game. But the play last week from our defense against Kentucky, man, I'm over here shook because
all season Tennessee's been very good at tackling in space and wrapping up and bringing their man down and gang tackling, and that just wasn't the case against Kentucky.
It wasn't. It was
pitiful.
I mean, this game can be a 20s game. This game can be in the 30s. It could be. And Tennessee has like their best day offensively, and Georgia has their worst day defensively. I'm all over the place though with this one, Christian, man. I apologize. That Kentucky defense really is tripping me up here.
I would say Tennessee has to get to 30 to have a legitimate chance at winning. I would be surprised if we come out of the weekend and Georgia did not reach 30 points.
Yeah, I think that's good, Ben. I think that's good. Stokes, always fun, my friend. We will see you in a couple days. Have a great weekend. Have a good time watching college football and NFL football on Sunday.
I'll be doing it, man. Y'all be safe. Much love, and I'll catch y'all next time. Go Vols.
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Time for hour number 2. Stay with us. Business is still moving forward despite our work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why my friends at Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's at the office or at your home. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier of Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, create a layout, and make recommendations. Once you decide what pieces you want, Office Furniture Outfitters will even deliver and install new office furniture for you. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or check them out online at ofonox.com. Give them a call at 865-254-3000. 888-866-0603. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Good morning, Swain Event family. Several of you, like Ben McKee, have reached out to me for real estate assistance this year, and I want to say thank you. I appreciate your trust in me to ask questions and help you navigate the real estate world.
That's right, Jennifer. Buying a home is a scary process, especially for a first-time home buyer. Jennifer recently helped my wife and I buy our first home and made the entire process seamless. Her willingness to go above and beyond is what sets her apart.
As always, feel free to give me a call. Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Man, I love it every time Peyton Manning comes back to Knoxville. Got a big recruiting weekend. I want those recruits getting the big eye. Oh, my God, that's Peyton Manning. That's Peyton Manning. You don't have to be reminded that Peyton went here. You can see him in person. And let's use Peyton a little bit in recruiting. I think Walter Nolan's going to be here after committing to Texas A&M.
So tired of him.
All right. Wait till he flipped to Tennessee. He gonna be like, hey, we love you, Walter. I know, man. That recruitment is exhausting.
I will be excited if he ends up flipping back to Tennessee or signing with Tennessee or whatever. But like I'm still going to be cautiously optimistic because whether he goes to A&M, whether he goes to Tennessee, he has a lot to improve on before he becomes a legitimate college football player.
For sure. For sure. I mean, a lot of high school players, say that about, but I do get what you're saying. Like there's some mentality things that needs to be addressed, and I think a guy like Rodney Garner could do that and can help in that area. But yeah, I get it, man. But anyways, he's gonna be in town. We'll see what happens. But my point is, I love when Peyton Manning comes to town
because everybody hates on him.
No, because he's a great ambassador for the University of Tennessee, and you can use him to recruit. I don't see why you wouldn't. Kind of crazy not to, especially quarterback. And Taven Jackson is supposed to be in town. And Tennessee's quarterback commitment. And anytime you can get Peyton Manning and any kind of offensive players on campus in the same room, in this case Taven Jackson, I think it can bode well. So that's why I feel that way. 865-255-03.
I've got today's touchdown turnover taken care of.
All right, sir.
Georgia's defense has barely allowed any touchdowns this season. It's pretty stupid, their statistics, when you look at the touchdowns that they have given up. Through 9 games as a team, they've only allowed 6 touchdowns, and one of those touchdowns was a pick 6 in garbage time. Of the 5 touchdowns the defense has given up, 1 was in the final moments of the South Carolina game when the second-team defense was on the field. So, really, Georgia's first-team defense has given up 4 touchdowns all season long. And I don't believe a offense has scored 2 touchdowns against Georgia this year. I don't know that for fact, but I believe that is true. So my touchdown or turnover to you is simple. Tennessee scores 2 offensive touchdowns against Georgia's defense.
I'm going touchdown, man. I think Georgia, part of their dominance defensively, I'm not taking anything away from the defense. The defense is good, but we're making it seem like they are the steel curtain, like for real. And I think, although they're really good, they haven't really played any great offenses.
Tennessee will be the best offense that it has faced this season.
Now, when Georgia played Arkansas was 8th in the country. Georgia was number 2. Arkansas was coming off, a good win against Texas, but they also came off that loss. I want to say to Ole Miss, so they decided to go for it on 2. But KJ Jefferson threw the ball 13 times for 65 yards, and I'm looking at their drives. And they had an opportunity. They drove the ball, went 12 plays. They missed a field goal, but they drove the ball 12 plays, 55 yards. And we know how one little small play can be the difference. Well, it's 3rd down and 5, and they decided to do a quarterback run, which 3rd down and 5 against Georgia. I guess they were trying to just be conservative and get the field goal, but they were already down 21-0. But anyways, but the play call a little questionable here from Kendall Browse, but they drove the ball in the first quarter and missed the opportunity there. They did go 3 and out a couple times before that. They went 3 and out in the first quarter. I want to say I'm counting 4 or 5 times. I mean, that was the best offense that Georgia played. And Arkansas was terrible offensively, too, in that football game. So it's a combination of they haven't played really good offense all season long. I thought Arkansas missed some opportunities and possibly wasn't, on their best game. And I'm trying to say this without, making Georgia look like they're not overrated, because they're not overrated. They're really good. But Georgia hasn't played a good offense like Tennessee. So I'm saying touchdown. I just feel like, man, in the course of 60 minutes, Tennessee should score 2 touchdowns. At least one per half. So I'm going touchdown, man. I'm going touchdown.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think Tennessee scores at minimum 2 touchdowns. I am very concerned about the health of the running backs. I am very concerned about Tennessee's offensive line going up against Georgia's defensive front. But even with those concerns, I still feel confident enough that Tennessee can create enough explosive plays in the passing game for them to score at least 2 touchdowns. This is the best group of receivers that Georgia has faced all season long. Velus Jones, Cedric Tillman, Javonte Payton. Those are guys that can run. And Georgia's secondary is good. It has talent, but it's like the question mark on the defense and really on the team, if that makes sense. It's something that Georgia fans are somewhat weary about, and those who evaluate Georgia are somewhat weary about. Kendrick, the Clemson transfer, is playing really well this season, but they just don't have the talent or the depth that they had last year, and they haven't really been tested this year by a group of receivers that is at the caliber or playing to the caliber of what Tennessee's receivers are playing right now. So I think Hooker is able to have 2 big passing touchdowns like he did against Alabama, like he did against Kentucky, like he did against South Carolina and Missouri and Florida, even with Peyton early on. They can come up with 2 of those plays, because that's essentially what it's been. It's just a play that you have to hit on, and the Hooker's good enough and the receivers are good enough to do so at least twice.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these 3 and outs, man. That will worry the crap out of me as well. You can't have those if you're Tennessee. Can I have 3 and outs?
Nope. My biggest concern with this game is protection, because I think there are plays to be made on the perimeter to the receivers and downfield to the receivers. But all that gets washed out if Georgia's defensive front is just having a field day with Tennessee's offensive line, and if the running backs don't help in pass pro. And I think, I don't think this is a hot take at all, but I think Tennessee's going to miss Tyon's pass protection far more than his running ability, because Tennessee has some guys that can run the football. I think Tyon is the best running back Tennessee has, but Jabari Small is capable of getting the job done if his shoulder holds up. Jalen Wright, Laneith Whitehead, Marcus Pierce, maybe they can piece it together enough with the help of Hendon Hooker's legs to be able to simply run the football as well. But I think Tennessee's going to miss Tyon's pass pro far more than his running ability, just because he is by far the best pass protector in the running back room right now. It's not even close, I don't think.
Who do you think was the best team that Georgia faced this season, like going into that game? Because you can't say Florida, because Florida was good early in the season, and then by the time Florida played Georgia, they were not good at all. Arkansas was pretty good going into that game. They lost to – actually, they went into that game undefeated.
Yep.
And
College Game Day was there.
I don't know why it's 4-1, but they went in undefeated going into –
I guess it's including the loss to Georgia.
Yeah. So they went in undefeated, was coming off 2 good wins, one against Texas at the beginning of the season, and then one Texas A&M. And then, they didn't score a point against Georgia. Kentucky went to this game undefeated against Georgia. And I'm looking at the offensive production by Kentucky, and I had 5 3-and-outs, and one possession they had, it was 4 plays. That's what you got to get away from. You can't do that, because now the tempo is a non-factor. The tempo is not a non-factor. Okay, you may make the lineman run hard for 38 seconds or 42 seconds. But they can go rest up on the sideline after you punt the ball after those 3 plays. Picking up that first down is the key. It is the key. Because now you can get up to the line of scrimmage and you can go. You have another set of downs. Now from 3 plays, it's at least 6 if you just take care of the football. It's at least 6.
I would say Clemson or Arkansas are the best teams that Georgia has faced this year. And I realize there's a lot of talk about Clemson in a negative manner this season. At the end of the day, they're still 6-3 and have talent. They're just not the Clemson that we've become used to over the last couple years. So I think Clemson is probably the most talented team that Georgia has played to this point. I guess Florida could make an argument there in terms of just natural talent, but in terms of best team, I would say Arkansas or Clemson.
Yeah, the first games are always tough too because, God, I mean, just is that really the team that you see now? Like, I know
for Clemson.
we're a totally different team now than we were first game of the season. So we'll take a break and we will return after a few short messages. And when we do return, we'll be joined by Will McNeely. This is such a cool development, and I just had a front row seat watching it come together. Really, really awesome. Really awesome. And our Tennessee fans, we have affected decisions made with the athletic program in recent years. You look at Checker kneeling, a great idea and concept, and it's something that now is a part of tradition. It's a part of what we do. And Will McNeely is another fan that a great idea that came straight from his heart, and it's created something that's going to change people's lives. And so we are bringing him on to talk about it a day after Veterans Day. And I hope everyone had a great Veterans Day yesterday, just recognizing and remembering those that sacrifice for us. And we all have someone in our families that have made that ultimate sacrifice and put their lives on the line to protect our freedom. So this is going to be a great segment. Hope everyone sticks around. We'll be right back.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work from anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the MN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you. Because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. I'm excited to share my new Keller Williams Realty app so you can tour homes without leaving yours. Not only can you search for homes in specific areas and neighborhoods, you can also have access to real-time market snapshots on stats like average home price and days on market, plus commute times from your office, school zones, and much more. Download my app today and get the most accurate information on buying, selling, and investing in real estate in your area. Just search for the Keller Williams Realty app and click on More in the lower right-hand corner. Type in Jennifer Morris in the Your Agent search bar, then save and you're set. And as always, feel free to reach out at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. We are going to the Irish Network's hotline. Well, we welcome Will McNeely. Will, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Man, we are blessed, man. Too blessed to be stressed. And thank you so much for joining us. We have had a chance to correspond a little bit in the last couple of weeks, and you've doing some amazing work. You've been working behind the scenes, and I just want to spend some time today to kind of share with our listeners and everyone that work that you have been doing. Please share with us the Veterans Memorial Graduate Business Fellowship Endowment that you have going on right now, and kind of where did it start, the idea, what motivated you, what actions or events compelled you to do something of this nature?
First, what compelled me is, I would say, my faith in God. When those 13 service members that passed away recently in the evacuation in Afghanistan, I remember I was in my car going south to my office in Atlanta, Georgia. I live in Cartersville. And I was from 75 to 285. And I just remember hearing that and just, my heart broke, and I immediately just, I'm driving, so I couldn't, hit the knees. But what I did do was just pray to God at that moment, just say, please, Lord, let me find some kind of avenue, something actionable to remember and honor those young men and women. So ever since that day, I had been praying and praying and praying, and I knew God would show me at some point what that was. And I was on Twitter and looking at something, and to this day I still can't remember what it was, but I do remember it sparked a light bulb in my head, because I had seen that Danny White is a man of the people, and this administration is a man of the people. So I said, you know what? On a whim, I'm just going to send out this tweet. And I said something along the lines of like, hey, Danny White, how much money do I need to raise to permanently buy a seat in Neyland Stadium to honor Staff Sergeant Ryan Nouse? Because I had found out that one of those service members was from the local Knoxville area. And I sent that tweet out on a whim. I did not expect really much from it, maybe a couple likes or retweets or something like that, but nowhere near the support it got. And, Vol Twitter is a powerful tool, and it went viral. And I was getting in my car, and I went to go pick up my son, and an 865 area code was calling my phone, and I said, and I'm in the mortgage industry, so you have to pick up your phone, when you're in the mortgage industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked it up, and it was Marcus Hilliard on the other line, and I about, wrecked my car because I wasn't expecting that. And he said he saw the tweet and was very happy to see what he could do to help, and he suggested maybe a scholarship. And I immediately jumped at that idea, was so happy that he suggested that and reached out. He connected me with Steve Hammer, former basketball player for the Volunteers, and he's the assistant director of development with the Tennessee Fund. Him and I immediately really hit it off. I met him at the Pittsburgh game that Saturday after the game, and I immediately knew that he was the right guy to start this process. there's a presence about him. I mean, he's 7 feet tall, so there's obviously some kind of presence. But he introduced me to his family, and I could tell immediately that him and I were alike in terms of we are men of God. So that's why I knew immediately that he would be the right person. So he then he then came down to Cartersville to talk more about the scholarship, what it was about, the mission, the purpose, and the drive behind it. And I told him that kind of like that little backstory, and I said along those lines, I am the son of a Marine, and I'm extremely proud of that. And I'm also the grandson of 2 World War II veterans per se. One of them was a tailgun bomber, so he is in fact, a veteran. My other grandfather, my dad's dad, was actually on the Manhattan Project in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And he helped develop the Y-12 plant that made the fuel for the atomic bombs. And he went on later to work at Eastman Kodak and was actually the CEO and president at one point of Eastman Kodak. So that is really, I guess, the backstory. Steve then brought me up to have lunch with Jerry Hanner. Same principles, same purpose, passion, a man of God. And he has really been instrumental in helping us dot the I's and cross the T's, for Tennessee there. So, it's just been an amazing effort. I really just hope that this scholarship will go on to impact lives and honor the legacy of those young men and women.
So when you sent this tweet out, I'm looking at the tweet September the 9th, and you say, "Hey, Danny White, how much money do I need to raise to permanently buy a seat at Neyland to show honor to Staff Sergeant Ryan Nas?" And you got a phone call. You didn't even reach out to anybody else. Like, they just found your number and just called you.
Yeah.
Wow. What was the turnaround time? Like, from the moment you sent that tweet, and I'm looking at it right here, you sent that tweet the 9th of September at 3:22. How quick did you get that phone call?
I think it was about 2 hours later, because I was going to pick up my son, and I usually do that between like 5:15 and 5:30. So I think it was about that time, but within a couple hours. So it was really amazing and shocking, and
wow,
to have that kind of capability. There was one Twitter account that I think kind of connected the dot. He connected my account with Marcus Hillier's account and the Sports Nation account that's been doing a lot of help too in terms of helping us get the word out. I was actually on their podcast last night talking about the scholarship too.
Will, just talk to us about the scholarship and kind of what all it entails and how people can apply for it if they so choose, and just the recipient and kind of what that looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. So the scholarship itself is going to be housed at the Haslam School of Business, and there's several reasons for that. Number one is I have a business background, so I thought that made a lot of sense. Number two, it will be given to individuals seeking their graduate degree. And I really liked that too, because I have a graduate degree, and in today's world, that really just kind of sets you up to be a little bit more successful, and coming out and entering your career. So it will be given to an individual that is either has a military tie in their family, so somebody that has either active duty or veteran status. They have a family member of that nature. They're a Gold Star, Blue Star family, for those that know what that means. So it's either that, or it's an individual coming into the Haslam School of Business from like a service academy, like the Navy, the Army, Air Force, etc., or a military kind of university like VMI, the Citadel, those kinds of colleges. How the recipient will be chosen is collectively with the Haslam School of Business and myself, and we'll sit down and see, who kind of really needs that money. Because, when you think about it, what happens is this $25,000 that we raise, the reason is it's 25 is we need $25,000 to qualify for a dollar for dollar match with the Haslam School of Business. So when we get $25,000, folks' donation, Vols fans' donations will actually double. So when you give $25, it's really 50. 100 becomes 200. And that's why it's with Haslam. So it earns like 4%, I think. And, if you think about it, like $1,000, $2,000, when you are trying to get your graduate degree, that really takes off a lot of financial burden to where you can really kind of focus a little bit more. You know, hey, that means another extra meal or a lot, obviously, or books or room and board or, you know, gas money or whatever you need in that financial situation to help you make sure that you're just staying on the right path, getting good grades, and graduating with that degree.
How can people jump on board, help you achieve the goal of $25,000? Where can people go to donate? How can people help?
So first off is my Twitter handle is @WillMcNeely, and I've pinned my announcement from yesterday. So there's that GoFundMe right there. Mm-hmm. And the reason it's with GoFundMe, I had a user ask me yesterday, and it's a great question, like, why GoFundMe? Can we not just go straight to the university and donate? Absolutely, you can. If you want to get a tax-deductible donation, you can go straight to the university, go to the Haslam School of Business, and make sure you just search that name, the Veteran Memorial Graduate Business Fellowship Endowment, and you can get that tax-deductible donation. But the reason it's $25,000 is because we need that initial $25,000 to qualify for that match-for-match, dollar-for-dollar donation with the Haslam School of Business. If anybody else wants to help get the word out, you know, obviously a simple like and a retweet. I also have my DMs open on Twitter, so if you want to reach out to me to see how you can help me get that word out or make a donation or whatever, my DMs are open. So like I said, like any help whatsoever, I am greatly appreciative of it. I'm blessed, I'm humbled, and I'm honored just because, you know, at the end of the day, I just want to recognize those service members, honor their legacy, and impact lives in their education.
Love it. Will, I know you are making the rounds today, sharing about, you know, this scholarship and getting more people educated and informed on how they can help. So thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a busy schedule today. Really appreciate it, and we will be sharing this on our platforms and making sure people know about it and how they can help.
I greatly appreciate all your help, fellas. Again, go Vols, and thank you so much for everything y'all are doing.
Will do, my friend. Thank you. Will McNeely sharing, man, his concept just came from an idea, came straight from his heart, driving, and then boom, it is real, and people can get involved and donate money, and with that money, we can set up a person with ties to the military to get their business degree and go be great outside of their duties to the military. Because a lot of guys, a lot of girls don't know what to do after they retire, and so we can set you up that next journey, that next challenge of your life, going out and being a business owner and going to the Haslam School of Business. We can take some of those burdens off financially. This is a great idea. This is awesome by Marcus Hilliard, Tennessee, Steve Hamer. Great idea by Will. You can just hear the passion in his voice. It means something to him, and it means a lot to a lot of us that all have ties to the military as well. So thank you so much for Will. He will be everywhere today, Nashville, Memphis, doing radio interviews. So this will not be the first time you hear from Will McNeely, and that's what I call a volunteer. Be right back. Swain Event.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
Business is still moving forward despite our work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why my friends at Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's at the office or at your home. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier of Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, create a layout, and make recommendations. Once you decide what pieces you want, Office Furniture Outfitters will even deliver and install new office furniture for you. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or check them out online at ofonox.com. Give them a call at 865-254-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the MN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy. Around the SEC, Swain Event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue, time for some news and notes around the conference as we approach another action-packed weekend of SEC football. Ben, what do you have for us?
Going to start in Athens as a youngster in Georgia's receiver room is likely out the rest of the remaining season with a leg injury. Arian Smith, a redshirt freshman, broke a bone in his leg during Georgia's Wednesday practice, according to Dogs 247, and he is unlikely to return this season after requiring surgery. So he is a track All-American, member of Georgia's track and field team, earned All-American honors in the spring, considered the fastest player on Georgia's roster, and was a big-time recruit coming out of high school, and only has 3 catches for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns this year, but has struggled to stay healthy. When healthy, was the backup slot receiver, and he is a home run threat. He is Georgia's Anthony Schwartz, but much younger, obviously. So that is somewhat of a big loss for Georgia. Again, not a ton of production, but just one less player Tennessee has to worry about, and
exactly.
A guy that is capable of making big plays. So
yeah, hopefully he gets healthy, and man, there's no long-term issues for him. But if you are Tennessee, this is like what you just said. This is one less person you have to worry about.
Absolutely. It is Friday, as we know. I'll throw in that Jabbar Richardson, a player for Ole Miss, has entered the transfer portal. But it is Friday, and we like to make some picks, evaluate the other SEC games that are going on during the weekend. Not a ton of great games this weekend. This week and next week are the weeks in November in which schools like to play non-conference games. For instance, Alabama is playing 1-8 New Mexico State at noon on the SEC Network. Alabama 51-point favorites. Samford and Florida is playing at 12 on SEC Network Plus. Those are the only 2 non-conference games this week. There are several next week. In terms of SEC games, the SEC conference game at noon this week is Mississippi State at number 17 Auburn. Auburn 5.5-point favorites. I'm going to go with Mississippi State to win this football game. Auburn has a 1-game better record. Auburn ranked in the top 20, but I think Mississippi State is the better football team, and I think they have a better defense. I think they have the better quarterback. I think they have some better weapons on offense, and they should. Mike Leach is a year ahead of Brian Harsin in building their program. So I'm going to go with Mississippi State, not only to cover as 5.5-point underdog, Swain, but to win outright on the road.
Yes, it's been hard for me to take Mike Leach serious as far as consistency is concerned. I know how good he is as an offensive mind, as a head coach. We have just seen him have a good win and then fall off the map afterwards. And so his big win was against Kentucky. I just don't feel like he can do it again. They lost to Texas A&M. They had an opportunity to kind of follow up a good win with another good win. So they missed that opportunity. But they have another one this weekend on the road at Auburn. Auburn did not play well against Texas A&M. Kudos to A&M for bringing out the worst in Auburn. I just think Auburn gets back on track at home. Tanks Bisbee, giving him the football. If he is healthy, if he is feeling good, I'm not going to give up on Bo Nix. I'm going to go with Auburn winning this football game at home. It is a noon game. You don't have to worry about that crowd getting crazy like we know they can do in those night games. But I still have Auburn winning this game.
Mississippi State beat A&M. The team that you were thinking of is Arkansas.
Arkansas, that's right. I'm sorry, Arkansas.
Yes. Mississippi State, guess how many rushing yards they are averaging per game?
47.
A little bit better. Not much, though.
Oh, well, before they beat Kentucky, it was like 40-something. They were like worst in the country. Where's it now?
But I think in that Kentucky game, they came out and ran for like over 100 yards.
Yeah, they had 100, so it bumped the average up a little bit.
They're up to 56.
56, gotcha.
Dead last in the country. And I'm sure it's something that Mike Leach is actually very proud of. He is okay with that. I just think it's hilarious.
That 10-yard bump is the reason why they were able to win some games and kind of win a game and be a little bit more competitive in the SEC this year. Now, they beat Kentucky because of their defense and turning the football over from Will Levis and getting some fumbles. But, man, yeah, like their running game has been a little bit better in recent weeks.
Yeah, I think Auburn's a little overrated. I like where Brian Harsin is year one. I just think that they're overrated. South Carolina, Missouri is at 4 o'clock on the SEC Network. South Carolina just 1-point favorite. I'll go with Carolina in this one. I think they found something with the quarterback that they played last week, the transfer from the D3 school. His name's slipping my mind off the top of my head, but I think Carolina wins.
Yeah, it's their third. It's their third quarterback, and he brought like a calming feeling to
Jason Brown,
the Carolina offense. Number 15. I mean, he looked like he had been there for years and years and years. I'm going with the running game of South Carolina. They have a stable of backs, guys that can do different things.
That's what really got them going last week against Florida. Kevin Harris finally showed up and had a big game. Zaquandre White had a big game. Juju McDowell. Shout out to Montario Hardesty.
Hey, he can coach running backs now.
That's right. His group looked really great last week.
Yeah, so I just, Missouri continues to struggle stopping the run. I just don't trust Missouri at all. Carolina coming off a big time win. When you look at just beating a team with a huge brand like Florida, and Florida's not good, don't get me wrong, but Florida still should have beaten South Carolina. In the way that Carolina dismantled Florida, I think they're coming in riding high, and I think they're going to carry that to Missouri and get the win. That's a 4 p.m. game on SEC Network. I got them winning. South Carolina winning this game.
We've got 3 night games. Vanderbilt at Kentucky is 1. Kentucky 21-point favorites in Nashville. I mean, I'm not going to pick Vanderbilt to cover.
No.
Arkansas at LSU is at 7:30 on the SEC Network. Arkansas 2.5-point favorites. I'm going to roll with Arkansas, but kind of dangerous picking against LSU just because they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I mean, it's the battle of the Golden Boot. Arkansas, LSU. This is the end of the Ed Orgeron run there at LSU. I think Arkansas wants to finish strong. I think Arkansas is a better football team. I think they win. So give me Arkansas to win and to cover in this one.
I'm with you. And then the final game that we'll mention is the game of the week, possibly. It looks on paper to be the game of the week. Number 11, Texas A&M at number 15, Ole Miss. Both teams are 7-2. 7 o'clock on ESPN. A&M 2.5-point road favorites. And the reason I kind of hesitated about calling it the game of the week is because Ole Miss is just so banged up offensively right now that although it's a top 15 matchup against 2 SEC teams with good records, Matt Corral's banged up. Offensive line at Ole Miss is banged up. Their receivers are banged up. I think Ole Miss is going to struggle in this football game, and I definitely think A&M wins because a banged-up offensive line going up against that A&M defensive line is not going to work out well. Ask Auburn how well it worked out for them last week. So I wouldn't be surprised if A&M blows out Ole Miss. And I think Isaiah Spiller, Devin Achane, the other running back and speedster that A&M has, I think they just have a field day against that Ole Miss defense.
Yeah, Isaiah Spiller had 112 yards against Auburn. Right now he's averaging 5.43 yards per rush, which is 10th in the nation. I think that's going to be a huge part of this football game as Ole Miss continues to have question marks about stopping the run with their weird alignment on the defensive front. So I think A&M is able to lean on them. Isaiah Spiller is one of the best backs in the country, one of the best backs in the SEC, and I think he's going to have a good day against Ole Miss, and Ole Miss will lose this game. There's only so much Matt Corral can do, and there's only so long his body can hold up and how they use him. I felt like that Ole Miss would lose earlier to what I picked them to lose to. What game was that? Auburn. I picked them to lose to Auburn earlier because I just felt like after playing us, after going and playing other SEC games, that eventually someone would get him, and Auburn got him. He did come back in the game, but it was already too late. So physical style of football, hard for a quarterback of his stature. He's no Cam Newton or KJ Jefferson. So it's hard for him to take those hits over and over and over and not feel the effects of it. So I got Texas A&M in this game. A whole bunch of talk to say that. And I got them to cover 2.5 points.
Yep. Actually, one thing I want to mention as we hit the top of the hour, and we'll come back with Jay on the Irish Networks hotline. And I think you mentioned it in passing earlier this week, but I had it in my bookmarks. Mark Stoops, not a fan of SEC officiating.
Oh, yeah.
Saying that he's done submitting questionable calls to the SEC league office for review. Quote, I don't even know why I turn in plays anymore. It certainly doesn't matter.
Well, him and Jimbo Fisher had some things to say about the officiating publicly. And I'm pretty sure those guys will get reprimanded, but will we see some change from the officiating now that you got some public comments in the same week from 2 SEC coaches who I think should be very respected in this league? Let's take a quick timeout. Hour 3 is around the corner. Swain Event, stay with us.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Hey, it's Men's Health Month, so make sure to get all your levels tested with a comprehensive annual health assessment at Low T Center. They exclusively specialize in men's wellness. Low T Center now offers monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for just $155 a month, self-pay, or is covered by most health insurance, and they ship directly to your home. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com. Let's get to the Irish Networks hotline. 90 days, no payment for business, fiber, internet, and voice. A Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. IrisNetworksUSA.com. Let's get to Jay. Jay, good morning.
So, Swain, are we about to play one of the best defenses in the last decade, starting a running back from Maryville College?
Possibly.
T. Hodge no longer on the team.
Well, he was from Maryville High School, wasn't he, Ben?
Yeah.
Are you talking about a walk-on, Antonio Pierce? Marcus Pierce.
Yeah.
Golly, I keep calling him Pierce. Marcus Pierce.
Yeah, no offense to the kid. I mean, but
Man,
you know, this looks like the '85 Bears defense, and
statistically,
to me, Tyon's just shut it down. I mean, that kid is he just needs to shut it down.
It
seems like
I should rest it.
He makes one cut, and he's every game, and he's done. He has to come off. He comes off hobbling. I mean, whatever they're doing is not working. So, shut the kid down for the season. That's what I would do.
I mean, I wish I could. I understand what he's going through because he wants to play. Right, it's his first time playing big time football at a place like Tennessee, and I've been through that ankle injury. And you want to play. You don't want to, not fight with your brothers. But at the same time, you have personal goals of your own. And the more you play on it, the more that it can take away from maybe your personal goals. So ankle sprains are no joke. And for it to be hurting at this point, I'm assuming that it's something like that in that area. He needs to shut it down. He needs to rest it. That's what he needs to do, or he's going to have some issues in the future if he doesn't.
He's going to have issues that he can't clean up if he keeps doing this.
Hey, man, I got one ankle that looks like a grapefruit, and the other one that's normal. I didn't shut it down.
Guys, Ben, I got to see what your breakdown was on the Kentucky game and some of the different statistics and stuff. And it's something that I've noticed about Heupel, and I actually was noticing, when they were breaking down his offense at UCF, they were talking about it. Why doesn't Heupel likes going deep? He likes going with the vertical pass game. He obviously likes throwing that side hitch route. But you kind of highlighted this, Ben. Why don't y'all think Heupel does the middle of the field passes? He doesn't seem to really be a fan of that.
That is a great question that I, quite frankly, don't know the answer to. But the statistics definitely back that up. They don't really throw over the middle of the field a ton, if ever. It feels like if they do it a ton in one game, it's 4 or 5 attempts, if that. I just think with the tempo, I think the tempo, if I had to guess, is a major reason why. Swain can talk about it better than I can because he obviously played the position at a high level. But Heupel obviously has a small play sheet. It's not the type of play sheet that you see Andy Reid toting on the sideline or
you seen Jimbo Fishers?
What's that?
You seen Jimbo Fishers?
Yeah, it's ginormous. Lane Kiffin's. It's pretty simple. And I think there was a screenshot going around from a Vol fan last week or so, either after the Kentucky game or after the Bama game. I think it was the Kentucky game because you could see his play sheet when he was jumping with Alante on the sideline after the pick six, and you couldn't read it, but you could see that there wasn't a ton on it. So I think that has to do a lot with why they don't go over the middle of the field, because they're going so quickly, and when you're going as quick as they do, you don't want to make things super complicated. So it's a handoff, it's a throw out to the perimeter on some form of a screen, or it's a shot down the field. So I think that the tempo is a big reason why, because it really forces you to simplify things, and obviously the things that Heupel does are very simple in theory.
I got theories. I got 2 theories that just popped to mind. The first theory has to do with the tempo, and if you notice, sometimes on running plays, our receivers don't even go 5 yards. On Velus Jones' touchdown against Alabama, he was the only receiver that went on the route.
there's times when like the coaches tell the receivers, "Hey man, just rest on this play." Well, if we're doing that, why would you send a receiver who's on the right side of the formation and wide splits? Why would you send him on a crossing route, on a dig or somewhere across the middle? Now he has to give the ball to the ref, sprint all the way back to the now right side of the football field, where if you keep all of his routes outside the hash and outside the numbers, it makes it easy for him to line up real quick and run the next play. That's one theory that I have. Second theory that I have is that you decrease the amount of tip balls that can happen when you throw the ball across the middle of the football field. This was an approach that Coach Former would take when we were backed up. We never threw the ball across the middle backed up. So 10-yard line, 15-yard line coming out, we never threw the ball crossing routes. But midfield, we lived and died by crossing routes from the split end, from the flanker, from the field, from the sideline, or the boundary. We always threw crossing routes. I mean, it was something that we did. I wonder if it's Heupel's way of saying, you know what, we're going to try to eliminate those tip passes. You know, we're going to hit you outside the numbers, and we're going to leave the middle of the football field for our tight ends if we're running the football and that linebacker is sucking up just like they did with Jacob Warren's touchdown against Kentucky. So those are two theories that I have. Just to reiterate, one, makes it easier for the receivers to line up, keeping the routes outside the hash and the numbers. And number two, decreasing the amount of tip passes that can result in interceptions.
Well, Swain, can he really then out-scheme people with such a small playbook?
Yes.
I mean, are we focusing more on trying to catch? You know, people gave Greg McElroy a lot of crap for one of the games he called for us with Alabama, I think. But it does seem like we're really relying on people not getting lined up proper. It's not so much out scheming them as we're hoping that you don't get lined up properly. That we're hoping that you're looking around not knowing what to do, more so than we're going to run our plays and you're not going to be able to stop us whether you're lined up or not. It's more so we hope that we cause some confusion, you don't know what to do, and we just take advantage of that. And that's not really, I don't know if that's really out scheming somebody. You're just trying to. It just seems like you're trying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I think there's a misconception.
If Georgia comes out and they know what to do and they know what defense to be in, can Josh Heupel still out scheme them? If they're not confused, if they don't get rattled by that tempo, then what does Josh Heupel do? How does he adjust?
I just think there's a misconception with less, less being less. Sometimes less is more, and less means you can perfect what you do, and you don't need a bunch of plays to scheme up the defense. If a DB or a safety is playing inside or playing a certain technique, you don't need 50 different plays to beat that technique or beat that strategy. You just need a few. And so I think people get it wrong when they think that you got to have this big playbook to scheme up the other team. I mean, you look at the Kentucky game, and that was simple bunch with, a little wheel action. And you got Velus Jones, you got Jalen Hyatt up the sideline. A simple stack alignment versus versus Florida. It was simple. But that simple alignment put Javonte Payton on a safety. And people thought, oh my gosh, man, that was just he schemed them up. Yeah, he did, but it was simple, and it doesn't require an extensive playbook to be able to do things like that. So less is more.
And on to kind of what Swain is discussing, like they do. There's different intricacies and details within these quote simple plays that are allowing guys to get open, like on the Jalen Hyatt catch down the sideline where he stepped out of bounds. It was 4 receivers stacked to the sideline, and Javonte Payton ran backwards as if he was going back to catch a screen pass, and then Velus and I believe it was Tillman, they ran posts to the middle of the field to clear out a safety, and a corner. Somebody went with Peyton backwards as Peyton was acting as if he was going to catch a screen pass, and it left Jalen Hyatt wide open down the sideline because they had cleared the safety and a corner out, and nobody ran with Jalen. So it's little things like that of just making sure that you design the play well enough to get guys open is how he is scheming guys up. Go back and watch the Pittsburgh touchdown to Jacob Warren, where Hendon Hooker had been running it down Pittsburgh's throat there on that drive, and they get down around the 10, 12-yard line, maybe even closer, but they were in the red zone, and they acted as if it was going to be quarterback power off the right side. Hendon took a step that direction, and Jacob Warren acted like he was going to block for Hendon, and Jacob released and went right up the seam into the end zone, and Hendon threw a beautiful pass, and Pittsburgh did not see that coming. So it's little things like that in terms of how Heupel is scheming things up and setting up the defense with plays called prior in a drive to where the defense gets used to one thing, and then boom, they release Warren down the seam and he's open for a touchdown.
Yeah, that Kentucky play, you had Jabari Small lined up.
Jabari.
Yeah, yes. It was empty set.
Sorry.
And no, you good, man. I thought you described it very well, but you had Jabari Small in that 4x1. And actually, it was just 4 receivers to the right, and you had Jacob Warren as an extra blocker. But you had Jabari Small lined up there, kind of in the slot in the trips formation with the wide receivers, and then he goes and fakes the bubble, holding the defender, and then you threaten, like you said, with two post routes. One was shorter, we call it a skinny post, and one was deeper, and then they left Jalen Hyatt on the sideline by himself. So it was it was just a great wrinkle. That's all it was. It was just a wrinkle based on something they saw on film that Kentucky had trouble with. So again, the point remains, like, you don't need a huge Bible first Old Testament, New Testament type of playbook to be successful on offense. And I can tell you that from experience, because Coach Cutt's playbook was smaller than Randy Sanders' playbook, and we were more efficient and more dangerous on offense. So less is more.
Well, Swain, before I get off here, Swain and Ben, I want to know, nobody has scored 2 touchdowns, I believe, on Georgia all year. Does Tennessee do that or not?
Yes.
What do you think, Ben?
Yes.
All right, guys. Talk to y'all later.
Thank you, man. See you. Talk to you later. Have a good weekend. 865-255-03. Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. At home, monitor self-inject testosterone treatments for self-pay, just $155 a month. Or it's covered by most health insurance. They will ship directly to your home, straight to your house. So, man, if you are noticing being tired, grumpy, weight gain, loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low T, low thyroid, or even sleep apnea. So get your levels tested. Go to lowtcenter.com. There's 5 locations in Tennessee: Knoxville, Chattanooga, Nashville, Tri-Cities. There's 2 in Nashville area. If you're right here in Knoxville, give the Low T Center a call at 865-392-1388. For Ben McKee and Jason Swain, we'll take a break in hour number 3, and then we'll come back with more after this.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. Fall is here, and according to the big box stores, it's Christmas time too. This time of year is traditionally a busy one for the East Tennessee real estate market, and it will continue through the end of 2021 as well. Most people think the holidays aren't the right time to buy and sell. However, it is one of the best times to jump in the market. To find out more, just give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, at 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
It's Red Plastic Cop with some big news for you movie-making, content-creating video superstars.
Show your mad skills.
And create a video of why it's so important to keep Tennessee litter-free. It's the TSSAA No Trash November Student Video Contest.
Sponsored by Nobody Trashes Tennessee.
Go to nobodytrashestennessee.com/TSSAA for details. High school and middle school students can submit their video and receive scholarships and prizes provided by TSSAA. Word, peace out. Is that still a thing? Am I being too cool for the school kids? Just ask that.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Always remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
Swain Event fueled by Daddy and Barbecue, and you heard it. Attaboy is brought to you by Iris Networks, business, internet, and voice. irisnetworksusa.com. 90 days, no payment for business internet. We'll be highlight good stuff, good stories. And Ben, what you got for us today?
I got 2 things I'd like to mention. First, I'm going to give an attaboy to the Carolina Panthers for doing the right thing and bringing Cam Newton back. And the main reason I am giving them an attaboy is because they've acted the last couple of years since Cam left, they've acted as if he never existed. And I know people have their feelings about Cam and how flamboyant he is and his persona, and he does crave attention, obviously, but like at the core of things, he's a good dude. And I've never really understood the Cam hate from that perspective. Like, yeah, I know he's flamboyant, his personality, his style isn't for everybody, but he's a good dude.
Yeah.
And he gives back a ton, and he cares about people. And at the end of the day, that should dictate how you feel about somebody, not because they dabbed in the end zone of your stadium after he scored a touchdown, or danced in your end zone, or did the Superman in your end zone, or because he has silly captions on Instagram. Like that's not how you judge somebody. You judge somebody off of the intent of their heart, and Cam Newton has a good heart. So that's a little side rant. But the Panthers have acted as if Cam Newton does not exist over the last 2 or so years when he left the first time. And kudos to them for swallowing their pride and bringing him back on a 1-year contract, a $10 million contract, or a contract that is worth up to $10 million, 4.5 guaranteed, 1.5 roster bonus, and then he can earn up to $10 million. So this is awesome right here. I love these type of reunion stories in sports. When I think of the Carolina Panthers, I think of Cam Newton, quite frankly. And he's done a lot for the city of Charlotte. I have a really good friend in Charlotte who is connected in Charlotte and has always spoken very highly of Cam and what he does for the city. And just kudos to the Panthers for swallowing their pride and bringing him back, because they need him. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick, Swaino, is I want to give an attaboy to Tennessee's trio of receivers. Tennessee football tweeted out this stat on Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and that is that the trio of Velus Jones, Javonte Payton, and Cedric Tillman, they're the only receiving group in the SEC with 3 wide receivers with at least 5 receiving touchdowns. So Tennessee is the only team in the SEC with 3 receivers with at least 5 receiving touchdowns. So
I think that's good.
Big ups to those guys, and Cody Burns having his group playing at a good level right now,
For
a
sure.
high level right now. Now I'd like to see more depth in that room, but those guys are playing amazing football, and I love watching those guys play. Velus, Peyton, Tillman. I hate that we only have Javonte for 1 year on Rocky Top. He's a great kid and really fun football player to watch, even if he only has like 6 touchdowns and 7 catches on the season.
13 catches, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, stupid stat. That's like that Mississippi State rushing stat. And then Velus, we get him for a short time as well. Tillman, just how can you not like Cedric Tillman? So very happy.
2
for those
years
guys.
after this one, if he wants it. I'm giving an attaboy to your favorite, one of your favorite athletes. That
John
is
Morant.
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. And this was an old attaboy, but man, I saw it and I wanted to highlight it. So whatever, and hopefully it moves someone to do something like this. You probably heard the story already, but The Rock was homeless as a teen when he lived in Tennessee, and there was a gentleman by the name of Bruno Lauer who took the actor in. And 9 years later, after Johnson fell on hard times again while trying to make a name as a wrestler, it was Bruno who again came to the rescue and said that he could live in his Nashville trailer. So here we are, fast forwarding to today, 2021, and The Rock gifted this gentleman, Bruno Lauer, with a $30,000 truck and the gift of a financially stable future. So the former wrestling manager, couldn't hold back tears, and I'm giving this situation just an attaboy. This is awesome. Just a random, I don't want to say it's random, because they know each other. But I've been benefiting from random acts of kindness as of late, and here soon, I can't wait to be able to kind of share. And it'll be a couple weeks. Share like exactly what happened and everything. But man, it's been really cool when you put that love out in the atmosphere and you do things for others. Man, people do things for you, and that's one thing I've learned big lesson on in the past week. So be that for people, be that light for people, be that blessing for others. And you just never know what may come back in your direction. All right. Moving forward, I want to take a look at the text box. It is Friday. It is Georgia week. ATL VFL says, selfishly, I think this injury will keep Tyon in Knoxville next year. I agree. Texan Vol says, should we Vol fans lobby for Dan Mullen to stay at Florida? Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Florida is a school that, with the right coach, they are a problem.
Yep.
And it's amazing to me that Florida, Miami, and Florida State all are struggling right now.
Florida has
makes no sense.
Florida has some Tennessee type vibes to it, in the sense of a lot of hands in the cookie jar, at least in terms of the last decade up until this new administration. We'll see how they work out, but the previous administrations at Tennessee, a lot of hands in the cookie jar, and that seems to be the case at Florida. And I mean, Will Muschamp and Jim McElwain and now Dan Mullen era, like, been an odd situation, and you're starting to hear now that Florida fans have unrealistic expectations, and they don't appreciate the success that they have been getting.
Who's saying that? National media?
Yeah,
that's silly.
It's like, folks, they're trashing Dan Mullen a year after they go to the SEC championship game. Do they not remember? Yet that Florida team, I think, went 9-4 with the Heisman front runner at quarterback and Kyle Pitts. They underperformed. Like, just because you make it to the SEC championship game doesn't mean that you still can't have underperformed.
Man, don't let the national media lower expectations for you Florida fans. I mean, you are a program that feast off of recruits in state and recruiting. You are a program that won championships, multiple championships, and you've won championships with different coaches. You've had Heisman Trophy winners. Like, as much as I despise Florida as a rival, I mean, we're just keeping it real here. Like, what Dan Mullen is doing is below the standard at Florida. Recruiting the way they're recruiting is below the standard. Getting beat 40-17 to this South Carolina team is below the standard. Like, it's below the standard. So, national media, stop. Stop. Let them fans be mad. They got every reason to be upset and mad. But yes, Texas Vol, we want Dan Mullen to stay. As a Tennessee fan. ATL VFL says, coin toss is big tomorrow. If we can kick off and get them 3-and-out, would be huge, similar to Ole Miss. You can't let them start fast and jump on you. It would be helpful if we did that, but you just have to prevent them starting fast, because then our crowd's out of it, and it's like a neutral site game. You don't want that at all. So you want our fans to affect the opposing offense with the quarterback and the offensive line. John K. from South Carolina says that Cam Newton's better than Sam Dumpster Juice Darnold, too. We need to banish Sam to Detroit. Cam and Steve Smith are our franchise. Nelson says, I swear Jay and Charlie Burris is the same person. Oh, they're not. They are not. I don't think Jay was being negative. I'm assuming that's what Nelson is referring to with the facepalm emoji. I just think Jay just
I
didn't.
thought he brought up fair points.
Yeah, I just think he didn't see it that way, and don't think he was criticizing the offense because listen, my man Jonathan Wade he's trying to get on board with this offense, but he's not there yet, and it's just an understanding thing, an understanding of how it works and seeing it work. You know, he's an NFL guy that really hasn't seen it except for the Chip Kelly days, and you know we didn't really see it during our time at Tennessee. And he's a defensive guy too, so he just needs to see it work more. And you know, we've had lengthy conversations about the advantages and disadvantages, and right now we've seen more advantages of this offense. So I don't think Jay was being negative or anything. He had a thought, a theory that he believed in, and we just discussed it, and I just think there's a misconception with this offense. You just don't need a huge playbook to be successful.
Now, I am going to be very curious to see how Heupel and his staff counter the negative recruiting that will take place moving forward about his offense, because, quite frankly, this offense, from an X's and O's standpoint and developing tools in your toolbox, they don't develop receivers or quarterbacks for the next level.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's what I was thinking. That's going to be the next thing that he's going to have to deal with.
Yep.
The negative recruiting. So it's imperative that receivers are developed to the point where they go to the league and they are successful, because I can look at Seth Williams, who was a freak athletically at Auburn, and he was on the practice squad, and he was drafted. Mm-hmm. And it shouldn't be that way. So that's what Tennessee's going to have to answer to. They got to make sure these receivers, when they get to the combine, they know how to run real routes, and that they know how to run the route tree, because they're not really asked to do it here. And that's okay, as long as you can do it when it's time to do it. And you hope they have an understanding and get on the grease board and can talk about, all right, what's your favorite play and why is this your favorite play, and what would you do versus this coverage? Because that's what I had to do, and that was like my favorite part. Oh, I don't have to run? Cool. You want to ask me questions? And I was drawing them up. It felt like, you know, the quarterback camp thing with John Gruden, when they put you on the grease board, like it was just like that.
You think they'll bring that back?
Nah, I don't think nobody touching Gruden, but like our receivers will have to do that. And if you're just told, hey man, just line up and just run these simple routes, and you don't have to really have a deep understanding, and then that can hurt the receivers. I don't know. I'm not in the receiver meeting room. I'm just saying, like, that has to be something that we can combat, because you're going to attract kids by scoring points and having the fun thing and the winning. Now it's about who's going to prepare me for the NFL, because Rodney Garner's not going to have a problem with that. He's going to be all right. He will be just fine. But quarterbacks, Heupel's going to have to make sure that he can show evidence that, hey, you come here, we're gonna put you in position to go win the Heisman, but we're also gonna prepare you for the NFL too. And every other position will have to do that as well. That's the difference between recruiting in this conference and recruiting in other conferences.
Pretty much.
All right.
You know what also separates the conferences?
Mm-hmm.
Recruiting in the SEC. Particularly when you get them on campus and you have a big game like you do against Georgia, and it is a weekend full of visitors for Tennessee this weekend. Walter Nolan going to make his way over to campus, so it looks like Tennessee has continued to pick up the dialogue there. You like? You don't like?
What, Walter Nolan being on campus?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Keontae Scott another guy, JUCO corner, that a lot of schools are after from the West Coast. He's the one official visitor this weekend. Cody Jones, a DB from the west side of the state. He currently committed to Michigan. He'll be here this weekend. James Pierce, edge defender. He'll be here. He's from North Carolina, a guy that's been somewhat under the radar, but Tennessee really likes him off the edge. This will be his third unofficial visit, and his family is coming with him. And Tennessee still has the official visit in its back pocket. So Tennessee seems to be in a good place there. Demario Tolan, LSU commit from Florida. He's a linebacker. He'll be here this weekend. He's very impressed with Josh Heupel at the moment. Latrell Bumphus' cousin, Caden Pope, is scheduled to be here.
What's up, cuz?
No, that's right. Tennessee's had a hard time generating traction there, but maybe now Tennessee is headed in the right direction. One of the guys at the top of the list for me that will be here this weekend is Justin Williams, the running back from Georgia that is committed to West Virginia.
Let's go.
Tennessee wants a bigger back, and he fits that mold. So he's one to keep an eye out for. Amari Jackson, a corner from the Atlanta area that is committed to Boston College. He's flying under the radar, and Tennessee likes his athleticism. Some younger guys, Xavier McLeod, Hunter Osborne, safety Michael Daughtery from Georgia. Bunch of guys. Big recruiting weekend. All of the commits, it looks like, will be here, at least a good chunk of them.
With Peyton.
Taven Jackson will be here. You think he'll try to link up with old Peyton?
If I'm Taven Jackson, I would follow Peyton like a puppy.
And he's from Indiana.
I'm not kidding. I would follow Peyton around like a little kid. Peyton would have to tell me, "Hey man, kind of weird you follow me in the bathroom." Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Just
I'm following him everywhere.
A little bit. Joshua Josephs will not be here this weekend, but he is expected to be back in a couple of weeks for his official visit. ATL VFL asked about him. McSwain, remind me what the big difference is with official and unofficial visits. Official visits,
nothing.
The school flips.
Nothing today.
The school is allowed to pay for the trip. It's on the school's dime when you come on an official visit. When you come on an unofficial visit, it's supposed to be on your own dime. The school is not allowed to pay for your trip up. That's the difference.
There's not a big difference in today's recruiting, if you ask me, in college football.
Yeah.
ATL VFL says Drew Lock would help. We were talking about, Heupel being able to show that he can develop quarterbacks in this system. Heupel didn't do what he's doing now. He didn't do that at Missouri. Now, he did a great job with Drew Lock, don't get me wrong. But you got to be able to show these guys the development, and it helps with the guys making plays in the NFL. Like, it only makes it better. And Drew right now can't keep the job. It's getting passed up. But it does help. But I mean, you want that Sam Bradford type of success where, like, Sam was a starting quarterback in the league and you just coached him. So like T. Martin coaching, Marquez Callaway, like if T was in college, like that would hit home to a recruit. Or Robert Gillespie, who's at Alabama now, when he goes and talks to people about how he coached Alvin Kamara, like that hits home because those high school players can see those guys making plays in the NFL. So Drew Lock will help. But man, wait till Hendon Hooker is able to go to the league and he's making plays. it'll make it that much easier for Josh Heupel and company to go out and get a quarterback. This is what I'm
Steelers
saying.
need a new quarterback. Come on to Pittsburgh.
Y'all sure do. I thought Henry don't like cold weather. I thought that was the narrative. Oops. Hour 3 continues after this.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work from anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. Fall is here, and according to the big box stores, it's Christmas time too. This time of year is traditionally a busy one for the East Tennessee real estate market, and it will continue through the end of 2021 as well. Most people think the holidays aren't the right time to buy and sell. However, it is one of the best times to jump in the market. To find out more, just give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, at 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue. Let's go back to the text box as Joey Housley, coach any pros. He's young, man. He is young. Not top of my head, I can't tell you if he has. Ben from John K. I'll buy some Sam Darnold plane ticket and put him in a hotel in Pittsburgh if you want to talk to him.
I'd rather watch Mason Rudolph play.
Let's see here. What else is on the text box? Vol in Birmingham says all coaches should publicly say how bad it is. Then it will get fixed. Talking about the officiating in the SEC. Mark Stoops basically say, listen, I'm tired of submitting things to the SEC. It doesn't matter. You know, nothing gets changed anyway. But Jimbo went further because Jimbo mentioned another school getting special treatment. That's what makes that different. And I'm surprised that the Jimbo Fisher, and we missed the ball on that too. We dropped the ball on, bringing more attention to what he said and actually playing his video because he was like, we'll see, basically, we'll see if Alabama gets in trouble with that or Alabama's able to do things like that and we can't. So, like, Jimbo not only complain about the officiating, but to mention another school getting that type of treatment, maybe that is what we need for some change in the offseason. Maybe. And that's a big, big, big maybe. But two SEC coaches this week have questioned the officiating. And I don't know what Mark Stoops would submit to the SEC. Obviously, the face mask on Will Levis was missed. No doubt about it. I'm not going to sit here and try to defend Tennessee and say that it wasn't. They missed it. They missed that call. And it was blatant. They should have gotten it because it wasn't like it was in a big pile. It was right there front and center. The quarterback had the ball. They just missed it. I don't know what other calls he felt like the referees missed that cost them that football game. I mean, unless he wants to complain about the 15-yard penalty he got when he was out on the football field and giving the refs the business. I mean, this rule was changed a couple of years ago where coaches were going to get 15-yard penalties for their conduct on the sideline. This is, I want to say, the third year of the rule. So what call that the refs missed in the Tennessee-Kentucky game that Stoops want to submit for review? But I'm glad Jimbo Fisher said what he said. I'm glad Stoops said what he said. Hopefully we get some change. Hopefully we do. West Tennessee Vol says, would you say that you're glad we played Carolina early this year? I wouldn't mind playing Carolina right now. I think Tennessee still is better than Carolina. I think we're still better. Now, would the game be the same? Lopsided victory for Tennessee? I doubt it. But I mean, Tennessee is playing some good football. We still win, just won't be a beatdown. Kyle from Smyrna says, scale to 1 to 10, what is a realistic guess at our chances to upset Georgia on a scale from 1 to 10? Yesterday I was like, there's no chance. Yesterday I said 0. But literally, every time you step on the football field, you have a chance. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. But I'm going 2. I would go 2 on that one, on a scale from 1 to 10. Ben, anything to add there?
Nope, I agree with you.
2 on scale 1 to 10?
Confidence against Georgia?
Yeah, realistic. What is the realistic guess at our chances to upset Georgia?
I'd go a little bit better, 3 or 4. I think there's a little bit of overratedness, if that's a word, to Georgia. Everybody's making them out to be the best team since sliced bread, and I don't think that they are. I just don't think there's a lot of teams in college football that can give them a true test. Talked about it, I think, earlier in the week, but I think the overall product in college football is down right now. We're still getting good games, but I don't think that there's a lot of good to great teams in college football right now. At least it doesn't feel like it is in years past over the last decade or so. So Georgia's very good, and I think they're the best team in the country. I think it would be a little bit crazy not to pick Georgia to win the national championship as of today. But, I mean, they haven't been tested. They haven't been tested, and I still don't see what team is going to test them, quite frankly. But you look at them on offense, and Stetson Bennett, I think, is good, but he's not Tua Tagovailoa. He's not Trevor Lawrence. He's not Deshaun Watson. He's not Joe Burrow. He's not any of these other quarterbacks that have won national championships recently. They don't have a go-to receiver. They have a good receiver room, but they don't have they do have one, George Pickens. He's just not available because of the torn ACL. But they just have a really good group of solid guys. They're good at tight end. They're good at running back. They're good at offensive line. They don't have elite individuals on offense that I think can carry an offense. So I would be very curious to see Georgia up against a defense that is similar to theirs. I don't know. I think it's a little bit better of a chance, 3 or 4, but not much.
Volville says Stetson Bennett wore us out last year, and we had much better linebackers then. Well, did you have better backers, or I mean, you had better backers, guys that physically could do it, but you didn't have better coaching, and you had a bunch of dysfunction. So how much better was it? Because these linebackers that are playing now have played better than the linebackers that we had last year. They were more talented, but they just wasn't playing as good as these linebackers have played this season. Stetson Bennett was 16 for 27 last year with 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. But I agree with you. Stetson Bennett is someone that will be a good college quarterback. He is a good college quarterback simply because of I won't say simply, but I think a lot of it is because of the players around him. I don't see him as a guy that's going to be called on the first day of the draft or called on the second day of the draft. But he's just a good college quarterback. I don't see him as a Mac Jones or a Jalen Hurts or someone that when you watch him play, you're like, oh, yeah, he's going to play on Sundays. I haven't had that feeling with Stetson Bennett yet. ATL VFL says we should play Tyon only on third downs. I don't see the purpose in doing that. If he can play, you got to play him and play him the whole game. And if he can't, then you don't play him. I think it's hard to pick and choose when to play a player who is banged up. Man, the speed of the game is so fast, and even now, with this tempo, you don't have time to say, "All right, it's third down, hurry up, run off the football field." Jabari or Laneef Whitehead, we got to put Tyon in, because then if you substitute, then you allow the defense to substitute. So I don't like that idea. ATL, VFL, either he should play and play all the downs or not play at all. You can't. I don't think you can do that and run your tempo the way you want to. West Tennessee Vol says she's going out on a limb and say we get 3 to 4 touchdowns. Let's go, boys. I mean, it is Friday. Vaughn Birmingham says, wait, Peyton's coming back for this game? Welp. So that means he wants to watch Tennessee play a good opponent. That don't mean that Tennessee's going to win or lose based on Peyton's appearance.
Might as well not even play the game since Peyton's showing up.
I know, right? On the scale from 1 to 10, it's a 0 because Peyton is here. Real D from the 423 says 38-24 final. Did not say which team had 38, though. So I'll leave that up for interpretation. Zell says if Tennessee scores a minimum of 5 touchdowns, they win this game. Whew. The defense that has not allowed more than 1. Man, if we can score 5, we better win, right?
They score, even going back to the comment a couple of messages ago, if Tennessee gets to 3 or 4 touchdowns, they have a really good chance at pulling off the upset, assuming that the defense just doesn't fly off the rails and just have a miserable day.
Let's get to the quarterback. Let's affect the quarterback. Let's take care of the football. Let's take some deep shots down the football field. Let's be loud. Let's give Georgia's offense hell. Let's throw out every trick that you possibly can on special teams. Let's let it all fly. Tennessee does not have anything to lose but just the game. Georgia has everything to lose. Everything to lose, because a loss here to Tennessee and then you play Alabama in the SEC championship game. If you slip up and lose to Alabama, it is a wrap. It is no college football playoff. So a lot of pressure on Georgia. Everything to lose for Georgia. So let it fly, let it hang, go out there, have fun, compete your butt off, and let's see what happens when you put the ball down on the football field tomorrow on CBS, 3:30. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Hope you all have a great weekend. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Peace and love.